Jon Delli
Priscoli.
Priscoli. Can you spell that?
D-E-L-L-I,
Yep.
capital P,
Yep.
R-I-S-C-O-L-I. Delli Priscoli.
All right. No H in John.
No,
You got
J-O-N. I got enough.
You got enough letters on the backside. You're like a
I
Wheel
do.
of Fortune dream.
I
so.
do.
Hey, welcome into Carpooling with Ben, folks. As we drive through this winter wonderland of Carver, Massachusetts, you may have come out here before, and if you did, chances are you went to Edaville Family Theme Park. Well, folks, I have the guy who, he's not wearing a conductor hat because he's far above the conductors, but he'll tell you that he's out there plowing and shoveling and doing everything else. It's the owner and proprietor of Edaville Family Theme Park, Jon Delli Priscoli.
Nice to see you,
Good
my
to
friend.
see you, sir. Thank you so much. A little bit
you.
of snow is not going to stop Thomas the Tank Engine or any of the other fun activities
That's
you have
right.
over there at Edaville Family Theme Park. And right now is a great time to come out in the holidays because you have the Festival of Christmas Lights. We're going to talk about that in a second. First, though, talk to me about Edaville and how you got involved because, I mean, we've only just met, but I've been told you're just a giant kid at heart.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, Edaville goes way back to 1946.
Okay.
And Edaville got its name from Ellis D. Atwood. And so his initials, EDA, is how it became Edaville.
Okay.
And so it was here since 1946.
Yep.
And it's been doing Christmas since then. It's over 75 years.
Wow.
And so consequently, as a child, growing up in Newton, Mass., my parents would bring us down to Edaville both in the summer and, of course, we'd never miss Christmas.
Yeah.
That was quite a journey back in those days because the highway system wasn't as developed as it is today. Today, Edaville's so convenient right off of Exit 2 at 495. It's close to everything.
Yeah.
But as far as my involvement, back in the early 2000s, I had heard that Edaville was in danger of had been closed for a bit and it was in danger of never reopening. And I didn't want that to happen to another provincial attraction. So many things in Massachusetts, in Rhode Island as well, have closed, things for families. Sure. And so consequently, myself and a couple of other guys, we worked on getting Edaville relaunched. And then eventually I took over the entire project as the landlord in 2002 and had some operators that ran it until 2012. And then I took it over again as the landowner and as the runner of the park, operator of the park. And we have pursued to expand it to what it is today with Thomas Land, and that's being the only Thomas Land in America.
Wow.
And Dino Land and all these other attractions. And we've kept Edaville very relevant, both for today's expectations, but also with a retro twist to it, so the people who have come here for generationally feel there's a connection there too. So we've really walked that line with the new and the retro and really merged it into one. That's why people love it.
That's awesome, and it's so cool that on your 15th birthday in 2002, you did that whole park purchase thing. That was very impressive.
Yeah,
so,
my 15th birthday. No, I don't know about that. But
or your 10th one, or however it works. But no, that's so great, and it's cool. I love stories like that where you're taking something when it means something special to the person who purchases it. It's just not corporate America coming in and saying, okay, we're just gonna standardize this. We're gonna cut that. You've taken it. Which is truly a passion project, and you're literally working there on top of everything else you do because you do other commercial real estate. You have some other things that you do as well, but this is your fun. What satisfaction do you get out of doing this?
Well, I look at Edaville as a big palette and a creative palette, and I've tried to look at Edaville in this way that when I go to attractions, and I have 4 children, 4 sons, and range in age from 2 to 22.
Wow.
And, I see how other attractions are run, and you're right. The ones that are run by the big corporate environment are very homogenized, and really the guest is really the last person that they're worried about. It's the bottom line. Whereas in our case, we try to give people a great individual experience. We make sure you have all the rides, one price for everything, so you can ride as much as you want. The lines typically are not long for the individual rides, and there's a lot to do. You could spend an entire day here, and still not do everything. So there's a lot to do, and it's a lot of fun for families. The other thing I do is I make sure that things such as like our comfort facilities and are very, very beautifully built and unbelievably clean. I do that because that's my expectation is when I go somewhere, and consequently people recognize that. I make sure my staff treats the folks with great respect and to make sure that your needs are all met. So there's a lot of things I do. Obviously, nobody can compete with the financial investment that the big corporations make, but I feel we give a better experience for the family what really counts. And with young children and families, when I see the happiness on them, and that makes the grandparents happy, that everything's happy, the food choices, everything is quality. I mean, what theme park can you go to? We sell all the standards, but we also sell hummus and healthy choices and fresh cut fruit and other things that parents are looking for. So it's not just this generic, we do all the food in-house. We don't have third-party vendors.
Wow.
So there's just when I look at each corner of it, I try to make it very special, and I try to keep that provincial nature, but also give it a very big picture as well, in the sense that it is very, very up to date, and a lot of investment has been put into Edaville. So it's the quality of the attraction is way above the Edaville of yesterday. That's very important for people to realize too. If you haven't been to Edaville in some time, you wouldn't really recognize Edaville today.
Wow. It's funny because I've worked in various industries, and it was told to me when I was younger. I worked on the Bay Queen, which is one of those things that are no longer in operation. But a captain once said, look, for some folks, their Saturday cruise with their family, that's their Disney for the year. This is their summer vacation for the year. And in a lot of ways, you see a wide range of clients. For some of your clientele, this is their summer vacation for the year, or their spring or fall or winter. If they go now during the Festival of Lights and that whole the experience, that's where they're choosing. So I mean, that's incredible that you, as the owner-operator and with your staff, pay so much attention to the details, because it's got to be a world-class experience. It's got to be special.
It is special, and the standards and expectations are quite high today. And of course, with social media and things like that, if you're doing a good job, people hear about it, and if you're not doing a good job, people hear about it even quicker.
Sure.
So it's very important to make sure that you have. But my biggest critic, candidly, is myself. So I go out there and I make sure that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Now, you are dealing with human nature, so obviously, sometimes there could be a little bump.
Sure.
And we address that. We addressed any social media inquiry within 15 minutes.
Wow.
So no matter what, whether good or bad or indifferent, we respond, and we want to make sure that your experience is exactly what you had hoped for. And I really try to deliver that. And I think for a small park, we give a very, very high quality experience. I mean, if you look at like Thomas Land, Thomas Land I had people from England come over and help me build it out.
Wow.
People who actually did other theme parks, major theme parks, came and helped me, and of course my construction company, we built it out. But the point is, it is a very, very detailed, very, very high quality experience, but with a provincial nature, and we give a great experience. You don't sit there waiting in the lines, and we don't control your every movement.
Sure.
And we're not over retailing you at every corner. We make sure that you have what you need, but you have your own individual experience. And that's one thing I have to have when I bring my family. If we're not experiencing an individual experience, not the experience necessarily that the corporate America wants me to have, but the experience I'd like to have, which is my own.
Sure.
We're able to do that here, and that's not the case at a lot of places.
Well, that's incredible, and I mean that's why people come back, and that's why you've been able to bring it back with a surge. So right now, if people were coming during the holiday season, you've got some really cool attractions. Beside the fact that, thanks to the snowfall, which has just added to your workload as far as clearing snow off everything, you car dealers think you have it rough. Try having a theme park during these winter storms. You have some really cool special attractions, and people have a different experience for it now. So right now, talk to me about the festival that's going on.
So the Festival of Lights is Christmas lights, and we've put Christmas has been a huge part of Edaville for so long, for 7 decades.
Okay.
So Christmas is a big deal for us, and it's a rite of passage for almost every family in Rhode Island and Massachusetts and others. Now with Thomas Land, of course, people come from all over.
Sure.
But the experience is what folks remember. It's a very nice train ride with lights along the train ride and animations and things. And then there's all the rides are open. The only thing that's not open is Dino Land.
Okay.
But everything else is open, and they're able to do typical theme park rides even during the winter.
Wow, that's cool.
Which is unusual, but a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And of course, they get a chance to have pictures with Santa. There's great shopping, great retail that they can get a lot of selections on toys that are only available at the park, made custom for us with Thomas branding and other things. And they get a chance to really have a wonderful time with their family and seeing all the lights and the way that in Dickens Village and which we developed, which was based on a Christmas Carol.
Oh, cool.
So we have that there as well. Then of course we also have some specials, and what I recommend is that they go that the guests go right to the website edaville.com, and they can see all the different specials. There's a very special train ride which has had heavy patronage this season, so we are adding additional capacity to it, and I would recommend that highly. It's called the Edaville Express, where they have a individual express with Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they get a toy, and it's really quite something. And it goes on a separate track than the main Edaville track, a spur that's off it. So that's another nice attraction, and that's available too. As I said, we are adding more trains as people. As right now, it's very sold out, but we are adding capacity. So I would check in on that. That's something not to be missed. And the core Edaville attraction is well worth the. And there's all types of specials, and depending on the days of the week. So rather than get into all the detail, it's best they go right to the website.
Sure.
and look at all the options. And there's also internet purchasing, which there's some incentives there too. So there's a number of ways people can economize and still get the great Edaville experience.
That's incredible, and obviously we'll link that in the show notes here. You can go learn more about that. With the Winter Festival, just out of a strictly business question here, how is the supply of hot chocolate? Do you have enough? Do you need more? Should we run to the grocery store and get some Swiss Miss going here?
No,
or what?
we do a lot with hot chocolate. We do a lot with beautiful baked goods. We have a partner with Montilio's Bakery. They bring in a lot of fresh baked goods. We bake a lot of things here on site as well. Really wonderful. We do fresh cider donuts, with cinnamon sugar, and we do hot coffee. We have espresso, cappuccino. We have obviously hot tea, regular coffee, and of course boatloads of hot chocolate and other refreshments.
I just want to make sure you have the hot chocolate.
We have the hot chocolate.
That's kind of a staple.
Well, as a matter of fact, on our Santa Express train, we actually serve the hot chocolate and cookies and things, and it's served right on the train. So it's a real experience, a real neat experience for the folks.
What more do you want, people? What more do you want? This is awesome. This is just so great. And then after this continues, select dates through January 1st, and people can go online and of course, if the weather's a little foul, be sure to check before you come. And if you make those plans, get those tickets now. But you'll take a little bit of a break. But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, you will be open for the April vacation time frame, right about mid-April, and the summertime. You've got all the great stuff, including Dinoland. So we talked a lot about everything else. What is Dinoland?
Dinoland is about a third of a mile walk through natural woods, not contrived woods, but woods that were natural. I had a botanist go in and carve out a path through an undeveloped area of old growth trees, and we developed it into a Jurassic experience with over 30 lifelike dinosaurs that are full size, that actually move, and we discuss them. It's really quite an experience, and there's fog in there and everything. It's really nice. It's a great experience for folks. And
did you get the rights to go to have the
No, but it's
okay. It's all right.
It's a great.
Still make it want to keep it affordable.
But it's a good thing. I mean, you mentioned about our personal touches. I mean, one thing I thought of is, I mean, I actually sit down and personally pick the music track for Edaville. So both for the Christmas experience and for the normal yearly experience. And I make sure that there's songs there, and there's a lot of neat music that will be really new to younger people. That is actually old music, but very much a lot of fun to listen to. And awesome. I know you being a musician can appreciate that a lot of interesting things, and a lot of wonderful singers and songs from all eras, and we blend it all and really keep it up fresh, and it's a great experience.
As we kind of wind down this episode here, just going forward into the holiday season, if you can't make it out for the holiday season, this is a great gift to get for a family for next year. Yes. Experiences in 2020. So talk to me about, So we have gift cards, but what a lot of people do once they see Edaville, they buy a family pass, because that a season pass, because that's the most economical way to do it. Because I think if you use it 3 times, you've paid for it, and there's certainly plenty to do throughout the year. Sure.
And as I said, it's where can you go and bring your children affordably, have a great experience, clean, close by,
delicious food,
and great food, and really have a time of your life and rebond. And the other thing I've done is I've made sure that I've kept the historic nature of Edaville, but I've also kept it up to date. And I want people to realize that it's not a tired attraction. It's a very up-to-date, energized attraction, but has not lost focus of their history. And so that's how I've kept it. So for the folks that really remember Edaville, they'd still be very, very happy with the experience. And I really encourage people to visit.
Well, Jon, just to wrap it up, first and foremost, thank you so much for your hard work and your investment, and just keeping this community attraction alive, up to date, and just fresh and new, just for the family memories, which is awesome. You guys will be closed on Christmas Day, but again, all that information is online.
Open every day. And with the snowfall, I'll tell you, this is my favorite, because when we don't have snow and you have the Christmas festival, people sometimes are nervous about snow. To me, it adds such an enhancement to the event, to the attraction, to the experience, to have snow on the lights and everything. It's just, really, it's magical.
Sure.
And some, different nights we run different engines. Some nights we run steam engines, and you hear the billowing steam and the whole, it's just, it really takes you back, and it's a great bonding experience for grandparents, parents, and their children. And that's my favorite thing about it, is when the grandparents come up to me and say, we came here as kids ourselves, and now we have our grandchildren here, and we just love it. And I get beautiful letters and memorabilia and all kinds of things from people, and commenting how much they loved it, and they're really thankful that it's here still after all this time, when so many other attractions have evaporated. That Edaville in all its glory is still here for families to enjoy.
From the man's lips to your video internet. And remember, folks, you can't get the experience of the billowing steam or any of that stuff. You can't get that on Fortnite. So you have to come out to Edaville Family Theme Park over in Carver, Massachusetts. Really easy to get to. And of course, if you come in during this time of year, you're going to see a beautiful, beautiful display and beautiful scenery as we go through, sir. So, Jon,
thank you very much,
for hopping
sir.
in the car. We'll get you back in time so you can give Thomas a nice, take the engine off. Sir Topham Hatt, I understand, makes appearances from time to time.
He does.
Well, that's good. That's good. Want to keep him happy there, Jon. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
folks. Visit the website, follow them on social media. This is just such a special place.